Honestly, I didn't really think this was gonna happen. And now that it is, it's just, I'm like on cloud nine. I'm so excited. When it comes down to it, everyone has an insecurity about losing their hair. My name is Jim and I'm 39 years old. Since my mid-20s, I've been experiencing hair loss and it's just, progressively gotten worse. Every time I leave the house, I have to adjust my hair and I constantly notice when I'm walking around, I'll look in store mirrors and make sure my, receding hairline isn't showing.
You can tell that he is remembering when he had that full hairline and how happy it made him. He didn't need to tell me what area of his scalp I needed to work on.
Vinay comes off as very real and genuine, and I know that he truly wants to help me and truly cares about making me, feel good and get the result that I want.
I have to remember that a year from today, I'm gonna talk to this person again. Am I gonna make them happy?
Everyone pretty much knows that this has been an insecurity of mine for years now, and I'm just very excited to finally feel like myself again.
So in gym, we're gonna be doing two things. Number one, we'll be building an internal hairline of darker hair, so we're gonna give him that nice, full, dense look. But then outside of that inner hairline, we're gonna build a second hairline in front of it to give him a nice feathered look of lighter colored hairs. His hairs that we're dealing with are a little bit thinner, so we have to put more hairs in. We're gonna achieve less density overall, so be very careful how this is going to be executed. Second, Jim is 39 right now, and in reality, there's going to be more recession. We have to design his procedure such that it's gonna look good when he walks out or he's happy, and it's also gonna look good in 10 to 15 years as it ages.
Tell me where we are and why we're here.
I can't really see where we are right now, so we got these loops on. But yeah, this is our barbershop. It's downstairs from our clinic. We adopted it because, when you get your hair cut, that's probably the one thing that's most about your transplant. So we had this barber, made a connection with him, and immediately our haircuts got better.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna take these off. They're not necessary for this. How tall are you? 6'1", 6'2"?
6'1".
Okay, that's good. All right, this is actually one of the funnest parts of I think this is the most important part of the procedure. Basically, we design a hairline, a couple things. Number one, the face is split into 2/3, the chin to the bottom of the nose. So he's about 8 centimeters. The bottom of the chin to the eyebrow, so about 8 centimeters there, and then eyebrow to the hairline. And a lot of people would say that's where Jim's hairline should be. Now, you imagine he had a little bit lower hairline when he was younger. That's fine, but facial proportion wise, he's appropriate right there. Second, when we turn Jim to the side, we can design the sides here. If we do by measurements, there's ways to do this. It's the front of the ear to the side of the eye is 7. We go half of that is where the sideburn should be, so 3.5. That's where sideburn is right now. If we go to the top of the eyebrow across, you should see that's where the side eyebrow ends. So a nice little line. And then we can follow the curve or the muscle here. So Jim, I'm gonna have you bite down a couple times. You can feel this muscle right on the side. Keep biting. And then we just draw out lines straight up from the side of the eye, up. Right about there. And this was Jim's essentially original hairline. So like that. Now, if Jim walked out here with that hairline, he would look awesome. He would look like he's 30 years old and like nothing happened. But you don't want to do that because you can see in Jim himself, something's happened here. His temples have already started to recess normally. If you start doing hair here, you're going to come to that hairline for the rest of his life. So the way I like to do it is actually start from the future. We're going to figure out where Jim's hairline is going to end up and where all his hair is going to be when he's done. All right, so let's see what happens. This is where Jim's hair is ultimately going to be in this little dotted line here. If you did this entire restoration, he would eventually start developing a gap in this entire area. This will look good, but very quickly it would age into and unnatural spots. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go and erase. What would have been the wrong thing to do. Now we're gonna draw what a natural crown would look like. This is just shaping this such that Jim were to lose more hair, that the crown, the back part of this would develop naturally. With this line, we have two things. These hairs are nice and healthy. They can be transferred up to the top. We know they're gonna live. Any hair on top of here, we already feel like it's thinning, or we can see it's thinning, or even with the camera, we can like totally tell. Transferring these hairs makes no sense. So a lot of procedures, people accidentally transfer hairs that aren't going to survive. And that's how you get to the graft counts like 5,000, 6,000. It's just not gonna work. So we like to stick with the hairs we know are gonna work. We want nice, consistent results. We want them to last. So we're gonna stick to the pattern that we see here of where the hairs are healthy. And that's also the final line we need to consider when developing Jim's hairline. How's it gonna look once it ages? We don't wanna do this. We're probably gonna come develop a swoop from the back. So before I do that, I'm gonna have Jim stand up. Now Jim is 6'1". When I look at Jim, the furthest I can see back on his scalp is here, and I'm 6 foot tall. That means we need to get from that initial dot in the facial portions to that back dot where people look at Jim and say, this looks normal. So if you sit back down, we'll take a look, and it says right here, if you look back again, Jim, I'm looking where I made his crown, and then I'm looking for this other line. Actually, his line's really short. It's like right here. So most people, when they look at Jim, only see that much. Now we can creep this back. You can see this is where his crown naturally is. So, but most of our reconstruction should only needs to focus up to here from a result standpoint. But we do know that our crown's gonna develop and we wanna fill this in at some point as well. Now we go on to design the hairline. So along the sides, I'm gonna start developing a curve that'll look natural as he ages. So you can see this hair here will eventually recess. And if we built a hairline here, it would develop a gap. So we're gonna come around the back, and this is gonna be the back end of it. Okay, buds, this is two different shapes of the hairline. This one is more aggressive, right? This side it's more rolling, right? It flows. So the difference here, this one looks less aggressive. But as you age, the angles on the side here, like this was an angle straight before, became smoother, right? So this actually ages better. Okay. Do you have a preference for one of the shapes?
I would prefer more aggressive.
More aggressive?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll deal with it later.
But I'm gonna show you something. To make the other side more aggressive is literally 3 to 4 millimeters. This usually takes me like an hour in the morning. I should have a camera for me all the time. How's that look compared to the other side?
Perfect.
Yeah, see how small that is?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's the same thing here. That line that I drew here before, I even moved this further back because it's not gonna make a difference. You have solid hairs up to here. Yeah. All the way down there. In fact, the further we can push this back, the better, because we can save grafts. Next step is pretty cool. This is what Jim's facial proportion line was at here. This is actually the hairline that we drew because we don't need to be that far forward. When he stood up, when I looked him in the face, I can only see this far back on his scalp because how little that is. And you can see his crown is back here. So in his, and instead of in the sides again, we have his future hairline recession. So in the future, he's probably gonna he's gonna have to fill in all these spots. So in a hairline procedure, we want to do enough to like make him very, very happy, but to also preserve for the future. So we're probably gonna go just a little beyond that. But you can see Jim's thinning is, people are looking at him from this angle and they're not hitting solid hairs until this point. So we know he has to come back that far. Same thing on this side. You can't see solid hairs up to this point. Internally, you see nice thick hairs here and nice thick hairs here. So we need to build an internal hairline like this, where people just see a nice solid wall of thick hairs all the way throughout. And since Jim's hairs are kind of moderate density and light, we're actually gonna build our single hairs over here. So I'll put single hair grafts here, single hair grafts there, but then really start packing in the density here such that no one can see beyond that wall. And depending on how many grafts we have, this will probably be like 2,100. We can start doing some future proofing. But the key is we need to leave enough hairs in the back of the head for Jim to fill in all these other spots, which is why we don't go too aggressive today. But at 6'1", the really nice benefit is people aren't seen too far back. If that makes sense to you? So you got the hairline, right?
Yeah.
Nice inner grafts. You have like these kind of thicker pieces of hair here and here. Build really good density into that little spot with the double hair grafts. Put the singles here and then start feathering back the opposite direction. Doubles, singles to the back to the crown.
Sweet.
So when someone looks at you, they're gonna see all that hair.
Awesome.
Right? Be nice and dense coming out of the scalp like that.
What are you doing right now?
Well, I have a couple of different drugs, protection, antibiotics, a little sedative, Valium, a little painkiller in case it's... Good stuff.
So long.
So your hair looks different from yesterday.
Oh yeah. It's got that like 90s look.
Reminiscent of anybody?
Yeah, a little Vanilla Ice action.
Is this how you're planning to style it a year from now?
Yes. No. No, I'm excited for this to go back.
I don't really know.
Wait. I'm gonna wait till the chorus.
Oh, I've heard this, yeah. Not exciting me at all. It's like, wow, really? That's music?
Or you know the song Landslide.
No. We can go play the next.
Or Go Your Own Way, that's a big one.
How do you guys feel about listening to the Fleetwood Mac thing?
He goes, what's Fleetwood Max?
Oh, Max. You can have a seat right over here.
CD mix? Oh my gosh.
Here.
The chord?
But you want to take this for healing. Both of these. And hang on from the top here.
You think?
Yeah.
You are so smart.
That's right, man, I'm Indian. You can do?
Try this one. This one's a little thicker.
Yeah, I like it. That vibration, it's just like, I think it's huge. Like, I don't understand, like, why people really don't understand, like, why shaking a graft helps, like, loosening potassium versus, like, yanking it out. It just makes no sense. The suction just holds it like a rack.
What do you mean by shaking the graft?
Usually it's just like a sharp spinning blade that just goes down the shaft and has to, like, cut the whole thing. But then you get that bottom part that never gets cut.
I didn't really know what to expect, but it was pretty easy. I was just passed out the whole time. You use that red light thing at work.
Yeah, do you have it? You have access to it, right?
Yeah.
You can, like, And it's at least once a week.
Okay. Will it just help with healing?
Helps the healing, plus stimulates the follicles while we're doing this.
Oh, cool.
That's part.
Do you want to see like the actual graphs of how we make them up?
Barely.
Never done long days. I have to do one.
What's up?
We're waiting for Jim to arrive. First time you've seen him in 6 months.
Yeah, Jim's. I want to see what his results look like.
What do you think?
We'll see. I mean, he seemed pretty happy on the phone the other day. You know, a couple months ago he was in the shock loss phase and he was a little down, but then he perked right up when he started seeing the growth. So let's see what it looks like.
Have you seen him since the procedure?
No. Well, actually, we saw him like 2 weeks after the procedure, obviously for his shampoo and stuff. But we haven't seen each other. We've been talking by text, and yeah, Jim's. I'm really interested to see what's this is going to look like. So it's still early, so it could go either way. Like, hey, is the hair there? Is it not? You know? Ooh, look at this.
How are you?
That looks good.
I know. I'm so pumped. You know, it's an exciting feeling seeing that I have a hairline again.
Is that for me?
Yeah, right. Some bubbles.
Nice.
Thank you.
Let's just drink it now.
I felt like I woke up one day and just saw like the immediate results, almost like it happened overnight. Let's save that. Do it like when you and your wife have a fun night.
There's no fun nights in my house anymore.
I opted when Vinay and I were doing the consultation. I opted on the more severe hairline, and I don't regret that.
With Jim's procedure, I gave him a choice between conservative and aggressive, but they're actually both conservative hairlines.
Vinay, I was sending this to this guy on Reddit. This was before procedure.
Yeah.
And then this was the other day in my bathroom.
Dude, it's like a bush.
And that's with like no product, like nothing in there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I was like,
Damn, it was like that?
yeah!
His hairline is going to last a lifetime where it is. And it's aggressive in his eyes. That's because he got to choose it.
I haven't seen my hair look like that since I was like 24.
Oh my gosh, wait, this is amazing.
I know.
I really like how our practice is kind of structured to be high touch with all our patients. So I think Jim texted me, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And he was like, hey, it's like the 4-month mark. And I knew at the 4-month mark, I knew what kind of text was going to come in. And that's like, hey, we're going through the shedding phase. Yeah. That's when you were freaking out at me.
This was legit. This was
He
legit.
called me. He's like, dude, what the hell did you do to me? Your hair's like falling out. He's like, yeah, Jim, I sent an instruction. It's easier for you to call me directly and talk to me for 5 minutes versus you to call the office, talk to the front desk, them to call me to find time to call you, and then us talk. Like, it's just like, just call me directly. Like, this is exactly how I love doing things, and that's why the practice probably will never deviate from that.
Basically, since the procedure, I haven't worn a hat once.
And I can't remember the last time I haven't seen Jim without a hat on. So it's kind of exciting just that, you know, he is getting to live his life with his hairline that he's wanted, and just knowing